Hi, I'm Danny LaPorte, and I work for FMF Racing. I've been working there for about 13, 14 years now. After I quit racing, my motorcycle career, started working with the Emlers, and it's been really great. I do a lot of different stuff. I work a lot in public relations and marketing, and along with Little Donnie, and well, just like I'm doing out here at Randsburg is part of my job. So someone's got to do it. I'm really happy and very fortunate to be part of the motorcycle industry, which has been a huge part of my career. Yeah, today, a buddy of mine, Dave Simon, who you'll probably hear about more throughout the next few minutes, but we just decided to come out and see Goat out in Randsburg, and you know, I've seen some stuff on Facebook, and I think Husqvarna, they did an intro here, and I'd heard about it, and I know Goat's been out here for a long time, and I've heard he's been buying these little cabins here and there and converting them into like places for people to stay, and I know he built a house out here. So I'd heard all these stories, and he's got a called the Cottage Inn, I think, and so I said, I can't figure all this out. What's Goat doing out here in Randsburg? So you know, it's just one of those things. We got these you know, dual sport bikes, 2 KTMs, a 350, a 500, and some other bikes with us, and we just decided to come up and see what it's all about. So we rode it here this morning, and we're just hanging out. So we're learning about Goat's town and everything he does here. And what's really fun is that, you know, this town is really cool. It looks like I just got here. It looks like people riding around the street on bikes and all kinds. Here's a guy coming right now. But you know, I mean, it's really casual. People are it's really cool. We're like 2-3 hours from LA, and it's like you're in another planet. So it's really nice. I've only been here for a while, and I'm starting to really enjoy it. But from this place, we can ride trails. We can take off from here on our dual sport bikes, which are really great. The KTMs, now all the new and Huskies have them as well. They're high performance, lightweight dual sport bikes, and you can virtually go anywhere with them. You know, if you want to see a little trail, you can legal trails, of course, and you just take off and ride and hit the highway and go more and explore. So it's really great, and it's kind of part of what we're doing here today. Yeah, the KTM 350 and the 500. They're basically, really, to be honest, they're motocross bikes that have been converted, molded into street bikes with minimal weight. You know, in Europe, the Europeans have to race the World Enduro Championship with street legal bikes. So over many years, their bikes have been getting lighter and lighter. So it's all about lightweight. So they're minimal. They do what they have to get through to become street legal. And they're just a blast to ride on trails. The bikes we have are more smaller trip type adventure bikes, you know, if you'd call them that. I call it just like a little bit more of a, like, you can ride from one riding area to another. If you live in the suburbs of town, you can hit trails, and you can ride, and hit the highway and ride down a little bit farther and jump off again. So they're perfect for that kind of riding. And that's typical in Europe, because Europe, there's hardly any places you can ride too long in one area because it's real limited. So they got to jump on the highway and ride somewhere else. And it takes out all the problems here, especially with green stickers and red stickers. Now, with a licensed bike like this, you can go almost anywhere. One of the things that we worked on with these bikes, after they come, they're ready to ride on the street. They're geared really high. The mufflers are a little plugged up. The carburation is lean, so they're kind of street legal bikes. But there's a few little things you can do, tweaks. Like on these bikes, we're using this throttle body called No Loss, and it really helps the performance of the snap of the bikes, because these kind of bikes have kind of a real mellow power band. And off-road, when I hit the dirt, I like the bike to respond a little bit more. So with the No Loss, makes the bike really respond quick. It really cleans up the whole range of the power, and it feels like you got the power back. And then, we had the change gearing. We obviously put our FMF exhaust systems on, which really helps, because they come up a little plugged up, but we have different variations of pipes for them that still are reasonably quiet. The power cord, the Qs, and even our new 4.1s with our inserts, we can keep the bikes pretty quiet, and they still perform really well. So, little things you can do on the like I said, with the throttle bodies and the exhaust pipe, and then the gearing. This just makes huge difference. One of the other things is too, the bikes come kind of soft, or set up a little bit soft, on the soft side for me. And if you're 160, 170 pound average rider, that'd be okay. But if you're just a little bit higher level rider than a medium kind of rider, or a little heavier, you have to go up and you have to work on the suspension a little bit. And on one of the bikes we have here actually today, Stillwell suspension did the work for us. So we're just trying it out and seeing how it's going to go. But you know, to make the bikes perform, I mean, these bikes really, you could honestly, you know, ride an enduro with this at a high level. I'm sure a guy like Destry Abbott, or well, he could probably win a national on a bike like this caliber, at an enduro.